We also have Miss Valentine Pierce. She just came across my mind, and I was like, I haven't seen her in a while. I haven't heard her in a while. I want to hear her again. We are supposed to have Kysha Brown Robinson. I don't see her. Let me know if you see her, because I don't have my glasses on. But I don't think I see her. And we also have the Louisiana Poet Laureate. I mean, come on, Alison Pelegrin. Phenomenal. And when I saw the news, my husband will tell you, I screamed. I was at my computer screaming because she so deserves this. And she's been in the game for a long, long time and has been a support to so many people in the state. And so it's just so good to have her with us tonight. And am I missing someone? And there's so many other poets in the house that I love. I see Gina, I see Marion. Who else do I see? Can't see. But Tina Turner is why we're here tonight. And I know that some of you may have your favorite Tina Turner song. You may have your favorite Tina Turner moment. Feel free to share that if you have something that you want to share about her. Is the video guy here? I'm told not to.
You
okay.
can. We're ready.
So I was trying to stall just a little bit. We have a few commercials. So tomorrow the Words and Music Festival continues. Clap for that. So we have tomorrow. Hold on. You need me to do it off the top of my head? I got it. We have DJ Soul Sister Melissa Weber tomorrow at 10:30. Talking about rare grooves. So that's my other friend. I love DJ Soul Sister. She's just amazing. And it's rare to really have like black women music archivists, music historians. And so I love what she's doing in the city. Then we have Po Boys and Poets at 12:15. You can come get your Po Boy and hear some poetry. I'll be there along with Laura Mullins, Stacey Vulcan, Jeff Monsterman, and Thomas Parrier. Then we have a history workshop for teachers at 3 o'clock. And then the closeout is with our own Louisiana Poet Laureate, Alison Pelegrin. So find some time in your day tomorrow to check it out, and it's free. It's free. Like, what's free right now, right? With inflation and all that stuff. I was telling my husband, I think we're all about to be vegan with the prices in the grocery store. We're gonna be vegan by default. But so glad for you all to be here. I'm gonna open with a poem. Can y'all hear me? We don't have a mic. So just.
I got a mic in a minute. I get a mic for you.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. But y'all can hear me okay if I just read?
Yeah.
Okay. To show y'all how old school I am, I still gotta have my stuff on page. I can't scroll through my phone.
Agreed.
So don't talk about me. Don't talk about me. Tina. If blood could dance, it would be you. Spilling black woman across the seas, your hair like a shark, a ripple burning. Water is your name. Who could ever drown you? There are sequins in your eyes. Top lip blues, lower lip rock and roll. What are you trying to say to us about love or whatever it's called when tears hang to dry against a man's fist? The war is in your jaw. Sometimes it's blush, sometimes it's bruise. A country girl has to make choices. Use her legs like scissors. Cut the river into song. There is a prayer in your steeple hands. A revolution banging at your mouth's door. Open those quivering red lips and let the fire out. Thank you, though. So we have a couple of New Orleans anthologies coming out. There's I Am New Orleans, which was, I think, co-edited with you, Kysha Kalamu.
All Kalamu.
All Kalamu. So go get that book too. I Am New Orleans. That's something you gotta have on your bookshelf. What are some other anthologies? And I should be remiss. Let me shout out someone who was a big supporter of Words and Music, who was still alive but not with us here right now. Let me speak the name of Dr. Jerry Ward, who we should send him some good energy. There's a new book out on Dr. Jerry Ward, Conversations with Dr. Jerry Ward, a collection of interviews. I just got my copy today, but he was really a big supporter of Words and Music, and he's back in Mississippi now. But he gave so much to the New Orleans literary scene, and so we just want to wish him well and wish him the best of health, because he has put his time in with poetry, and so we are forever grateful for the work he's done, Kalamu, and so many others. With that, Valentine, are you ready to kick us off? Kysha? Okay. Welcome.
It's not my mic. I'd rather the gentleman who brought the
My
mic.
friend, my sister friend,
I'll be out.
my home girl, my mentor, everything. My ear when I need to talk to someone. Kysha Brown.
Good evening. I have to look at you before I put my glasses on. Some of you can clearly identify. So thank you, Kelly, for the invitation. It's great to see everybody. I'm going to read two poems, and the first I'm reading is a very old poem, but I'm reading it because there is a line about dancing that was inspired by Private Dancer. And then the second is my tribute poem. Lonely women. We are fatherless daughters, entering womanhood with only half ourselves, worshiping the mystique of masculinity. Naked bodies flying willingly over the edge of countless cliffs, praying the God of gravity will grant us grace. You see us at parties getting drunk on emptiness, dancing dirty with strangers, or worse, with men we know. We will do what we don't to please our lovers, because this one could be the one. Our hearts hold scrapbooks full of faded photographs of the faces of could have been. We marry money for security, become servants in master bedrooms, and wake up in dream homes turned nightmare in sanatoria, where we are ex-wives wondering when love disembarked, the journey to death us do part. We are patient predators in pitiable holding patterns, vultures in friendship's camouflage who pick the meat from marriages. We are tits and asses flaunting form, fitted fashion, so when a good man comes our way, he can see reason to stay. We are new and improved women working out, toning up, slimming down, laying on the hippest beaches at the hottest getaways under the sun-bright spotlight, praying that some bronze brother will have cause to pause long enough to discover that we can whip up gourmet soul food, help meet the mortgage, watch sports all day on Sunday, and ride him from midnight to have mercy. And we are women of our word. Women with it going on. Plenty of papers and props, driving fancy cars to fine homes that we share with our parents, children, fantasies, fingertips. We are lonely women, waiting for someone to want us, wanting someone to need us, needing someone. I am divine for Tina Turner. Oh, the name is mine. Left hurt behind, I'm shredding binds. I rock the lines, my style defined, my own design. I square the sign and arc the trine and watch them pine. Expanding minds, I travel time, my light still shines. I'm blessed, sublime. My soul a shrine, a peaceful mind. I left the grind for the shoreline and the sun shine. I cruise the brine and rose the vine, living Palatine. I am divine. I am divine. This life is mine. I rock all time. Be good to me.
When we talk about Tina Turner, Kysha was just talking about, I got you, Valentine.
I didn't want to be late.
No. You're right on time. You're right on time. Most of you probably know that Tina Turner she called herself sometimes a Buddhist Baptist. But she was very in tune to her spirit and her divineness as not only an artist, but as a woman, as a mother. Something else that you might know about her is that she, I think it was in 1997, decided to give up her American citizenship and to become a Swiss citizen. And that was a moment not only just about, sometimes we think of her as rock and roll, but not as political. But that was a real political statement to, even with all the success that she had in America, it was like, America is just not good enough for me anymore. So she went and found her peace in Switzerland and continued to practice Buddhism. And so there are so many aspects to Tina Turner that we could hit. So we're going to keep it going with Valentine Pierce.
Hello again. Before I start today's commercial, if you're free from Bayou Classic and all those other fun things you're going to be doing, getting over Thanksgiving dinner and all of that, come out to the Maple Leaf, Sunday the 26th. I'll be there acting out. Around about 4. So I brought, see if I can see this. I brought Tina and friends. So let me make sure I got everybody here. I think I can just slide it under the deadline.
No.
Just
You're
that.
good. You're good. We want to hear you.
We're starting with Natural Woman. We're starting with Glasses to Read. That's better. 1973. Standing in front of my dresser mirror after watching Soul Train, trying to sing a natural woman. Aretha, the Queen of Soul, always told it like it was, like it is, still. I lived for her music. Whether it was a natural woman or Mary Don't You Weep. Back in the day, when WBOK was the soul station, with Dr. Daddy-O and Reverend Ike, with DJs who knew everything about every song they played, A Natural Woman topped my list. But what Aretha's song didn't. A Natural Woman was my heart song. Young, Gifted, and Black, my life song. Think, my soul song. Mary, Don't You Weep, my spirit song. Every Aretha song has a place in my being. Aretha brought the truth, spoke her mind, made women proud. Women understood what Aretha sang about. Don't play that song again. A rose is still a rose. Do right. Ain't no way. Let it be. How can you pick a favorite song? A genre. Gospel, love, protest, empowerment, truth. You name it, Aretha sang. Aretha educated us on what it meant to be black in America. To be human, kind, loving, strong. Self-assured daydreamers, willing to forget, willing to forgive, but not forget. Pick any Aretha song. Someone will sing the whole song for you without missing a beat. Seems everybody knows all the lyrics to every Aretha song ever. Aretha gave us something we can feel. This one is simply titled Aretha. And I used to give people rules that I might be singing. You need to put your hands like this because it's illegal in 51 states for me to sing in public unless I give you instructions. Okay. August 16, 2018. Aretha died today. This song still hurts my heart. Aretha died today. My favorite song? Today, in this narrow sliver of time, in the rage of news willing us to say goodbye. Back in the day, slow dragging with some boy. Decades ago, in a Holy Ghost mood. Tomorrow, when life goes on without the Queen. In this moment is every song she ever sang, every joy, sorrow, future promise of our remember when. Think, a natural woman weeping over still waters until you come back to me wearing those same little prayers. Oh, happy day. What I did for love when I was young, gifted, and black, giving R.E.S.P.C.T., letting Jimmy Lee go down that freeway of love in a pink Cadillac. Deep in remembrance in the house that Jack built. A rose and a chain of food. Rolling in the deep, daydreaming of Dr. Feelgood. Trying to do right. Trying a little tenderness with pen in hand. I apologize. Where are you? This is for real. Baby, I got you. This girl's in love with you. Share your love. I'll give you something you can feel. Because that's the way I feel about you. Rocking steady, walking closer, looking for that angel down that long and winding road. Near the cross, my cup runneth over. Someday, we'll all be free. We everyday people. When you get right down to it, I'm willing to forgive in these ever-changing times, honey. Don't play that song. Baby, 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 ain't no way I can tell you how I got old. Precious memories of amazing grace, carrying that old rugged cross, knowing a change is gonna come. I knew you were waiting for me. I could go on, but we'd be here all night. So at this moment, my favorite Aretha song is all of them. Adventures in Paradise. Minnie Riperton's songs were tangible. I felt them in every part of my being. This daughter of a Pullman porter took my breath away. And yet, today, she is mostly forgotten. It's unimaginable that this opera-worthy voice seldom hits the airwaves. This rare bird, who sang background for Stevie and many others, collaborated with Stevie on some of her songs, is unsung, practically unknown. How can that be? When I first heard Loving You, I was deep in puppy love. I swore her voice reached all the way to heaven. How could it not? I've heard covers of Loving You, and they do it absolutely no justice. It's not even the same song, though they sing the same words. How can that be? They aren't many. I took my own trip down memory lane a couple of decades ago. Came across a photo set of me and my first heartthrob from one of those carnival booth cameras. We were so happy. Back down memory lane instantly played in my head. When Minnie sang Inside My Love, I wondered how on earth did she hit and hold those notes? In my mind, Lover and Friend exemplified how true love begins. Her voice is the nightingale song. Powerful, beautiful, tender, amazing, lifting us beyond our earthly boundaries, beyond the realm of human limitations, into galaxies beyond belief. Minnie, an ethereal beauty, whose voice always took us along on her adventures in paradise. And now, we get to Tina. And then one more. This is called Who Needs a Heart? Watching Ed Sullivan's really good show, shaking out to Tootsie, Mom's word for behind, in front of the television set, rolling on the river with Tina. We didn't even know what that meant. What's a riverboat queen? Memphis? New Orleans? What's the good side of a city? Did she say cane? Like the sugar cane we ate straight from the field? We had no idea what the lyrics meant, but we danced anyway, sang the only ones we knew. Big wheels keep on turning, proud Mary keep on burning. We rolled hard and fast, barefoot on a tile floor. Decades later, I was a Tina Turner backup dancer for Adela the Storyteller, whose Tina impressions kept audiences rolling, flipping and tossing her hair, working those legs like a woman on a mission. There was no sitting it out. Once Adela pointed you out, you were on stage, in somebody's living room, community centers, theaters. Anywhere Adela was rolling, she had backup dancers rolling too. Every song Tina sang lives in me. We don't need another hero. We don't need to know the way home. All we want is life beyond the Thunderdome. What's love but a secondhand emotion? I've been taking on a new direction. I've been thinking about my own protection. Who needs a heart when a heart can be broken? In the early days, I didn't know Annie Mae Bullock from Nutbush, who ran from the terror of her private life with pennies in her pocket, to clothes on her back, to freedom, leaving everything with her stage name. Tina, battered, bruised, but never broken, always moving forward, rebuilding her life on truth, peace, unparalleled talent, river deep, mountain high. This American icon left her mark around the world. Australians created a traditional dance to the song Nutbush City Limits. In 2002, more than 4,000 people gathered, danced at the Queensland Musical Festival, the Big Red Bash. It was a world record that exceeded its own world record. Tina was the first black artist and first woman to grace the cover of Rolling Stone. She transcended music, influenced genres as diverse as rock, country, R&B, and some of the best-known singers in the world, women and men. When Tina left us, I watched every special I could, heard songs I never knew she sang, wondered how she spent her whole life doing that high-energy dancing in high-heel shoes. Tina took us for a ride every time. The sheer thrill of watching her electrifying performances keeps her energy alive in us. From sharecropper in Tennessee to Buddhist in Switzerland, I watched every documentary, heard every song she ever sang. Tina, inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice. Twice. Her name imprinted on hearts of people all over the globe. No one will ever fill those high-heeled shoes with the same fire, energy, and passion she did. We're going to close with this one. Mama taught me. When I think about women singers I admire, I also think of my mother, who often sang softly while cleaning house, cooking, crocheting on the sofa in church. One day, Mama was sitting in her chair, crocheting and listening to music. I was sitting on the sofa, going through her CDs. Gladys, Ella, Tina, Aretha, Mahalia, Mary J. Blige? Mary J. Blige, Mama? Mama was into old school, but she said, I like what she's talking about. I had to take another listen to Mary. Clearly, I had something to learn. Mom wasn't famous, and despite her years of singing around the house, I was grown before I understood that she could really sing. Soprano, had been a lead vocalist in a choir in her youth. My daughter got her sweet voice from her grandmother, though she almost never sang. Ave Maria is challenging? My mama sang it all the time. I mean, I knew she could sing. Sunday afternoons fixing dinner, Saturday nights drinking coffee and playing solitaire. December, aka Christmas time. Yes, a month of Christmas music and extraordinary displays, starting December 1st, when the tree went up. She and my daughter were peas in a pie when it came to Christmas trees and decorating. I would drop her at her grandma's and come back hours later, only to do it again the next day. Christmas started with Mom's favorite, Mahalia's Silver Bells, followed by Eartha Kitt's Santa Baby, Ella's Baby It's Cold Outside. You name it, Mama sang it. If the radio didn't play it, the hi-fi would, from her endless collection of 45s. Music so often filled our house, especially Christmas time, except in July, when I would put Christmas music on the hi-fi. She'd let me do it for a while, but it would eventually get on her nerves. You know how mamas are. Don't be going off calendar with their holidays. Knowing Mama could sing, I understood why we always had beautiful music in our house. Billy, God bless the child. Etta, I'd rather go blind. Gladys, I heard it through the grapevine. Dion, walk on by. Mama brought them into our house. Mama taught me to two-step, twist, slow dance. Mama is why I know what great music is. Those masterful singers, wonderment at my fingertips, the joy filling my days. I thank all the renowned singers in my life. Most of all, I thank my mother for bringing them. If times had been different, Mama could have been one of them. Thank you, Mama, for all the beautiful music. I still hear your voice in my ear. You are my favorite singer.
Thank you, Valentine Pierce. Give it up for Valentine Pierce. Tina Turner is in a sisterhood of amazing women, artists, singers, dancers, and so when we speak Tina's name, so many other names are lifted up inside of Tina Turner, whether it's blues singers, Aretha Franklin and others, and even our local icons. You mentioned Adele the storyteller. We miss her in New Orleans, and it's not by accident that her name was spoken. She always was hanging out at Community Book Center, and so we can see the influence of Tina Turner and others in our lives. We can see it in Beyonce. Certainly, we can see it in tons of other artists. So thank you again. I'm trying to think of some other things just about Tina in between artists. I think that I should say this, I I don't know how many people know that at one point she was very ill. She suffered actually from kidney failure, and she wanted to have assisted suicide. She did not want to do all of the treatment. She did not want to do dialysis. She asked for assisted suicide. Her husband gave her his kidney, but she was like so at peace that like I've lived my life to the fullest. If I gotta go, then I just gotta go. But luckily for us, she persevered and she went on. So when we talk about Tina, there's a lot that we can see in each other. I'm sure everybody in the room knows someone that may have had kidney failure or something like that. So although she was like high, you know, on this pedestal and into the stratosphere, she had real issues like the rest of us. So and she balanced all of those things with perfection and beauty. Next up, buckle up. Y'all got your seatbelts and your chairs? Buckle up. Next we have, I don't know if she knows how much I really just adore her. I don't get to see her all the time, but every time I see her post something on Instagram, I'm just always so proud and happy to see Miss Sha'Condria icon Sibley. So please welcome her next to our, I don't want to say stage, but our gravel slash stage. We're so happy. I'm so happy to have you with us. So give her a round of applause. Get the energy up just a little bit.
I was really sitting there like, oh, whoever she's talking about, that must be somebody. All the while it was me. Thank you, Kelly. First of all, this is a beautiful night for poetry. A lot of people don't know my history, but I started off doing poetry a while ago. We used to have a group of poets called Pizzazz Productions. And we used to be on Julia Street. It used to be called, it was the old, I can't remember now. What was the name of it? True Brew Cafe. After True Brew Cafe, after Katrina, this became our spot. And now I am still co-host of a poetry open mic slash whatever called Pass It On. And we were here at what used to be Red Star Art Gallery.
Yeah.
So it's now Whiskey and Sticks. So this place, this ground is very holy to me and holds a lot of weight. Before I became icon in the world, this is one of the first places that welcomed me on a stage. So we'll be celebrating our 15th year anniversary of Pass It On next weekend. If you follow us on Instagram, like Valentine said, I'm following your lead on this my whole set, from the announcement all the way to how I'm ordering my poems. So next weekend, next Friday, we will be here with a Team Snow showcase. If anybody knows anything about Slam New Orleans, Team Snow. It is the first, one of the first places or teams where, if you're familiar with a Grammy Award winning artist, now Emmy nominated artist named Terriana Tank Ball from Tank and the Bangers. That's when we got our start here. So Friday will be a showcase. Saturday will be a party at House on Claiborne, a birthday party, and then Sunday will be ending at John Scott Center, who Passed It On is named after. That was always his mantra. If you know anything about John Scott, when he would do something nice for somebody, instead of saying you're welcome, he would just say pass it on. So we took this mantra and turned it into a whole poetry movement. So my name is Sha'Condria Icon Sibley. I was raised in the church in a little small town, so I have to first give honor to God and to the ancestors, Tina Turner included, and then to the women poets and women singers. And so I thought I hate the scrolling through my phone too, but I'm not at my house right now. I'm staying away from home, hence I ain't got no clothes. But I did pack a TLC shirt and think about women from music, and I was wearing a TLC shirt today. So I'm in theme. So I'm gonna do poems that, when Kelly said Tina Turner, I was like, I'm from the hip hop generation. I don't really have a lot of Tina Turner poems, but I do have poems that are based around music or women in music, and then I also have now a Tina Turner poem, thanks to you. So I'm gonna hold this book that I got from Community up like I'm reading from the book, because I don't have me doing my books, and it just looks so much more esteemed than me scrolling through my phone. And I'm gonna put it on airplane mode so that because people be trying to call you when, yeah, y'all bear with me. Put it on airplane mode so the people don't call. Okay, now we ready to roll. All right. So this is a poem that is, when I thought about when black artists, women artists, period, step up to a mic. What are the thoughts that go through our heads before we perform in front of whatever audience? So it's repurposed for this night. Black woman steps up to mic. Black woman has a song gestating deep inside her belly. Can feel the painful pulse of contraction, her mouth fully dilated, but she's afraid to push. She's afraid to push the song from her lips for fear that the crowd will call her baby ugly. Say its cries are unworthy of being heard, or even worse, they will try to kill it. See, black woman has become accustomed to having her babies slaughtered. Black woman has become accustomed to the same kind of death herself. Black woman feels like she should change her name from mother to martyr. Black woman is even afraid to call herself black woman too many times in this here poem because she has been taught that she is too insignificant to be acknowledged. Black woman steps up to mic, prays that she gets it right, realizes that in this world her voice is usually only darkness in a sea full of white, so she prays that telling her own story is stronger and more powerful than the men who try to do it for her or to her. You see, everybody wants a piece of black woman, but black woman can't even sing her own piece. Black woman tries to seek peace between the mic and the crowd, and what feels like light years of space, and light travels faster than sound, so black woman realizes that the audience will see her before they ever truly hear her. Black woman steps up to mic, cognizant of how she appears in front of a jury of an audience that probably don't see her as their peers, so she don't want to come off too woman, too black. Black woman is taught that she don't hurt, that she don't feel a thing, that her melanin and estrogen cancel out the human in her DNA. Black woman is taught that her sorrow is a false alarm that goes off way too often, while white and male privilege gets to siren its struggles all over the world stage. Black woman steps up to mic, feels the urge to push but doesn't want to tear, doesn't want them to interpret weakness from her tears. She don't want to be called a crybaby. So she gently rocks her song into the back of her throat and she whispers to it, shh, don't cry, baby. And I just want to tell her to yell. Wail like you want nothing more than to break the shell and have your baby be born. You sing out to them about how you survived it all. I'm talking about the rape, the racism, the ravaging of your body for the sake of beauty. You tuck your chin into your chest and you push, girl. You push like you deserve to be heard. You push like you deserve to be here. You push like you have a savior to deliver to this world. Black woman, when you step up to this world's mic, you better open your mouth and sing. So then in thinking about what we sound like, what we sing about in front of audiences, I remember there's this artist, No Name, and she was saying something about, she does hip hop and she would have her songs that were for her people, but when she would go sing it in a crowd, it would be like this sea of faces that didn't look like her. And it's like, will they understand my story? Are they worthy of even receiving this? Because this is for, but the things we think about, and I think about Little Kim and how she was the most beautiful thing and is the most beautiful thing, but like a lot of us, the delusion of what the world tells us we should look like, whatever, and black women artists and black women in general are usually the trendsetters for everything, and so the need to change that, it's just so weird that like that's the delusion that we've been put under. Like you are the prototype for style and fashion and all these things, and then to see Little Kim. So this is for Little Kim, when being a regular black girl was not enough. And there was a quote by Little Kim, being a regular black girl wasn't good enough, Little Kim. When I nailed your picture to my Facebook wall and questioned a black woman's attempt to rise from all the dead things inside of her, Kimberly Denise Jones, please forgive me for being a part of the social media lynch mob that came for your neck and your face when we felt we could no longer recognize you. Unable to see past your pain like queen bees don't know sting, like I forgot what it feels like to not have faith in my own beauty. like it is some phantom God, to question its existence, believing it to be no biggie, knowing that he was damn well part of the problem, left you feeling black and ugly as ever, however, praying that God would wash your skin away, left you wanting to be born again, left you wanting to look like a new creature, because beautiful can sometimes sound a lot like speaking in tongues, especially in a broken language that tries to leave you the same way, plagues you with insecurity until your natural features begin to feel like leprosy. Beneath the scars is still a girl with big apple lips, hair Brooklyn accent thick, a nose made perfectly wide enough to sniff through the bullshit, and black God skin. And we are reminded to give thanks even when everything about us feels heavy and not light enough, especially this skin. Even when we feel like too much and not enough at the same damn time. See, strong has become so much a part of our names, how easy we forget that we are malleable, molded of flesh and blood and not of stone. That we are made in the image of monuments that have already been nipped and tucked by colonizing hands. That even if we too chisel away at the ones in which we live, we must consider that the dust will always return in the faces of our daughters. And we cannot teach them to recite or sing along with the false doctrine, blasted over the airwaves about how Becky with the good hair is blessing, is sacrament, cannot make habit of our addiction to overdosing on her communion, will not survive if we drown our daughters in images that look nothing like them and call it baptism, cannot pass on the partaking of our own broken bodies and call it being made whole again, or be the ones doing the breaking, or shed our own blood and call it work, or show daughter by example how to crucify herself daily in bathroom mirrors and still rise with every Sunday morning, having saved everyone but ourselves. So I have two more poems. This is the Tina poem. I was gonna end, well, you know what? No, I'm gonna do this poem and then end on the Tina poem because it's also a poem about my grandmother. Oh. And Valentine ended on a poem that was almost a Tina poem, but it was about her mother. Mm-hmm. So I feel it's only right I follow your lead. So yeah, I grew up being a little girl with a voice that was so deep. I always liked to sing, always liked to express myself. But you know, when somebody tells you something about yourself, sometimes it may shut you up, and then you never want to talk again because one person said something negative. And so when I was little, I was teased a lot about my voice being so deep. But now it's funny because I always tell people now my voice is the thing people pay me to listen to. So jokes on the people who has something to say. You know, voices are a lot like coupons, meaning they can never save anything if you don't use them. As a child, mine was like the Sunday sales paper clipped from my throat, vocal cords disconnected, like unpaid cell phone bills and bad reception. Can you hear me now? No one wanted to hear me then. They used to say that little girls aren't supposed to have sledgehammers for throats, heavy and capable of pounding words into souls. Nah, they should be soft and malleable and higher in octave, but my voice was lower in register, like $100 bills tucked under the cash drawer, and they were looking for change that never came until after puberty. They would tell me, "You sound like a man." Called me a circus freak because there was no cotton candy spun around my vocal cords. Just the hairs of a bearded lady that had me choked up for far too many years, caused me far too many tears and meals made of silence swallowed whole. Luckily, my larynx was laced with letters made of leather, tightly strung together, so when their stinging words got raw, I didn't hide, I just mustered up the pride to speak up. I remember hearing a kindred voice, iron hard, striking the vinyl on one of my grandmother's records until it caused sparks to fly in my spirit. You know, they told Nina Simone the same thing. Mm-hmm. You sound like a man. Lauryn Hill, Cassandra Wilson, MC Light. See, this poem is deep. Like the voices of little girls with so much to say, it weighs their vocal cords down. carrying the weight of the world on soft tissue till it rips mics. You sound like a man. Nah, it's just that my tonsils have turned into testicles, giving me the balls to say what others are afraid to, even if it ain't ladylike. See, this ain't tea parties and satin ribbons, y'all. This is hard living and easy trouble. The rubble of dilapidated buildings rumbles in my belly like children whose only meal each day is free lunch. So listen closely, because this is what broken bottle glass under hand-me-down school shoes sounds like. Listen closely, because this is what comes out after years of raising your hand only to be skipped over. Can you hear me now? Good, but if not, it's okay, because I like to repeat myself. I guess you could say I now love listening to the sound of my own voice. So somebody please pass me the scissors so I can cut along the dotted lines of insults other people have tried to use to box me in. See, my soul is not for sale, but I hear their voices. Voices are a lot like coupons. Mine has saved me because I have finally learned how to use it. And I have one more, and I'm gonna end on this one for Valentine, because she did a mama tribute. This is for my grandmother. And it's so funny, like, I love that we're here and in this space. I think the last time I shared a stage with Kelly, Valentine, and I think Kysha, might have been pre-pandemic at Ashe Cultural Arts Center for something we had. But I think it's beautiful that we're all here together now. So, yeah. I ain't that much of a singer, but I did these poems this way. A lot of the poems are related to poets who I feel like have a lot in common with singers, because a lot of poets wish they were singers. And we be singing at the beginning of our songs. Just like comedians have this link with musicians. I think with poetry and singers, it's about the melody and the lyricism. And for musicians and comedians, they have in common the timing. So I'm gonna sing a little something because I think about Tina Turner. I remember one of the first times I really learned her story. I always heard my grandmother talk about her, but one of the first times I learned the story, unfortunately, a part of her story was watching What's Love Got to Do With It when I was a little girl. In the opening scene, I remember this little girl going into this church and singing, "This little light of mine," right? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. See, as a little girl, I always believed, hold up, disclaimer. This poem might or might not make sense. It's a parallel. I wrote this, this is the first draft. Anyway, as a little girl, I always believed Anna Mae and Frankie Mae to be the same person. That Nutbush, Tennessee was no different than Alexandria, Louisiana. I mean, the church at the beginning of the movie What's Love Got to Do With It looked a lot like the one I grew up in. As a little girl, I believed that the copper-toned, high cheekbone woman with big hair, a big voice, and legs for days was my grandmother. Before she met Ike, I mean Willie. Before her dreams to sing and shine her little light, all superstar, never made it to the big stage, never made it outside the church choir stand. So I grew up listening to the echoes of a dream deferred, yet a supernova spirit that couldn't be. See, just like Tina, my grandmother sings from her soul, deep and gravelly, sometimes slow and easy, sometimes nice and rough, like the days of life can be. Some days down and some days up, but they keep on turning. And they keep on singing and loving and keeping the names they worked too hard for. Arms stirring pots and crowds like big wheels, and they keep on turning, rolling on rivers of hopes and dreams that can take you all over the world or somewhere over the rainbow, which is my grandmother's favorite song to sing to her most adoring fans, her grandchildren. And they keep on turning, tragedy into triumph, keep on turning, more and more beautiful with age. See, my grandmother will even sometimes say that she taught Tina Turner all her moves. And I wonder if she means the continuous motion of working for the man every night and day, and how they both eventually got away and both keep on turning. Even after Tina turned into angel, into star now shining beyond the clouds, and also with her now in heaven, how Albert and Mary must be proud, and Floyd and Zelma, daughters who have gone into the depths of mad, maxed beyond Thunderdome, and still after each storm always came back home to the small town roots rooted inside of them, even if in Switzerland, are still in the Sonia quarters. And you couldn't tell this here granddaughter that my grandmother was not Tina Turner, because I believed it as a little girl. But as a woman, I now know that what I saw shining in them both is the light. Thank y'all again. Thank you. My name is Sha'Condria Icon Sibley. I don't have books on me, but they're community. Enjoy the rest of the website. My website is www. There's 3 W's. .icontheartist.com. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you. Valentine, do you have a website?
I don't have a website.
Okay. Well, y'all know where to find Valentine. You know where to find Icon. Kysha, your website?
Don't worry about me. Support Women's Foundation of the South. Support women and girls of color across the South.
Okay. For you all who don't know what Kysha may be referring to, Louisiana, or New Orleans, I should say, has the distinguished honor, I believe, in having the first foundation dedicated to Black women of color and girls in the South. So there is now a foundation that is focused on Black women and girls of the South. And they are doing amazing work. So when you get a chance, go on their website. It is
womensfoundationsouth.org.
So check them out. So, you know, at Poetry Readings, you're going to get all the scoop on what's happening in the city. Also, you're going to get your announcements like you're at church. You got the poetry announcements, okay, that you have in church. So I have a theory that Tina Turner and Etta James were like the forerunners of Black women having blonde hair. Icon mentioned Little Kim. You look at Mary J. Blige. Who else? Everybody has the platinum hair, the blonde hair. But it was Etta James and Tina Turner who, like, because Motown was, they had the black updos and the French rolls. But it was Tina Turner and Etta James, I'm trying to think of somebody else, that came out on stage with these blonde hair. And so that, at that time, was really, I think, a little bit revolutionary to like go against that grain a little bit, just visually what Icon was talking about. So I'm gonna do one more poem. I might take us down a little bit, but I know Alison's gonna bring us back up. So, you know, we talk about trauma. Oftentimes we can trace our own trauma back to our mothers or what's happened in our families. So Tina Turner's mother left the family, left her and her siblings when she was young because her father was abusive. So she left the family, the husband, everything, and just got away. And so I think that probably set up Tina Turner for some of the choices that she thought maybe she had to make, or the choices she thought she had to do to stay. So I want to do this poem for her. As we look at the country, as we look at what's trending in hip hop with Diddy and other folks, what we see is that it's not just Ike, it's a long history of abuse of women of all colors, really. But there is a certain, there's something about the celebrity and the power that really enables abusers. This is called Eat the Cake Anime. Eat the cake anime, a joke they say, to crack a laugh, a limb, a bone. Funny how the craving of an insecure man sets the table for a woman's life, seasons tongues of laughter. How many women have you swallowed, tasted blood for dessert? A punchline so drunk it makes you laugh like a pimp on payday. Eat the cake, anime. A joke, they say. A knock-knock. A violent who. Who is funny? Who is weeping? Who is it feeding death? Whose cruelty tastes oh so sweet? I'm just kind of like floored every time I see it, like as a joke, and people like dressing up for Halloween, doing that. It just always takes me to another space. But I should also say that if you know of women who are in domestic violence situations, we just see Kiki Palmer in a domestic violence situation. So you don't have to be poor or uneducated or whatever. There are women who are professional, who have don't have the certain statuses that we think, or demographics that we tend to think of women who are abused. So none of us are immune to that. So check on your daughters, your nieces, your aunties. You would be surprised who behind the scenes, and when it's nighttime or when it's not the holidays, are really struggling in abusive relationships. So please check on your folks, on your women, and some men are abused too. So so please do that. That's my little soapbox announcement. So we have the Louisiana Poet Laureate in the house, who is kind of, I was thinking, Alison, about the job you wanted. You know what I'm talking about. Sometimes Alison represents for me that sometimes the thing you think you want and you don't get is a blessing and a stepping stone to something else. Because the thing she did not get, I look at her now and I see she is the Louisiana Poet Laureate. So I say to you all to like stay encouraged, because you never know what that no might actually lead to. So with that, welcome our friend Alison Pelegrin to the gravel.
Thank you, everyone. There's a mic up here. Should I use it? Please?
It echoes.
What did they say?
It echoes really bad.
I'm going to try. Is it okay if I just say that?
Yes, you can try it.
It's an honor to be here with you all. It's an honor to be here with you all tonight.
It's a little echoey.
Very echoey.
Forget about it. We can hear you.
You're at a bar.
Just do it from the diaphragm, baby.
I was saying how honored I am to share this space with you all, to hold this space for Tina Turner, for women artists, for mothers, grandmothers, grandfathers. And so before I get into my Tina poems, I thought I'd start with a strong woman poem. And I lost my page. So anyway, as an intro to this poem, I'll say that I used to lift weights competitively. I'm a little soft now, but I used to lift weights competitively, and I think the main reason I did it was so that I could outlift the guys in the gym, because they would be like, oh, you need help with that? And I would say, no, I do not. And you're doing it wrong. Okay. So I really like that. And I had a t-shirt that said my snatch is pretty good on it. You know, because snatch, yes. So this is my snatch is pretty good. If you hear pussy when I say snatch, Either you belong to my cabal of weightlifting poet yogis, or you're my mother, snatch the frequent star of her dirty jokes. As explanation, all I have is that her father was a Marine with a vodka IV who told home health to blow it out of their asses. Hip, we called him Hip. When I think of him, I think of suicide. I saw how his eyes roved for that pistol, and in my fear imagined a froth of blood pinking his undershirt, the exact color of the tank top I now wear to the gym, which claims, in girly script, my snatch is pretty good. An understatement and a double entendre if you know that in addition to vajayjay, snatch also refers to that Olympic lift in which the barbell with one pull travels from the ground to overhead. Because I'm giddy with the miracle of speed and kilo math, and my bouncing plates are so loud that other lifters look my way, that's why I giggle when I hit a snatch. But also because of my mom, who reminds me even now when I screw up to check myself because I used to live in her snatch. Considering our history, I knew she would laugh at my tank top and the bumper sticker version I bought for her because I'm proud of all my women. Badass, indelicate broads, and me the same, in a full squat bearing down with 60 kilos overhead, the sweet spot where I find my balance. I have felt a midwife's intimacy with other lifters, our tribe gathered around the platform as though awaiting a birth. Only it's the barbell we are waiting on, waiting for it to move, willing with our minds, helping with yells if one among us is buried under a squat, grinding to stand. But it is the lifter who does all the work. As in birth, it is the mother, alone and watched, all eyes on her snatch, vortex from which daughters and sons emerge and unfold, each of them a bloodied lotus. And the mother, well, when it was me, I was stunned, amazed, as with a personal best on the barbell. What the hell just happened? How did I do this? Is there no end to my strength? I found out after the fact that Jericho Brown gave a reading at UNO maybe a week or two ago, and I'm bummed that I missed it. He invented the form, the duplex, which is kind of a sonnet, kind of a ghazal, kind of a villanelle, and it works on a lot of repeating lines. And when I was thinking about how to approach Tina Turner, how to write about her, I wanted to give her words space because it seemed like people always wanted to stick on the same things or make jokes like what you were saying about, you know, I can't even say it, but like the thing that Jay-Z says. And she was saying all these things that were so calmly, and it just seemed like people weren't ever listening to her. I didn't know she was a Buddhist until I read her talk about it, and she talks about it everywhere. And I saw a picture of her with her eyes closed in meditation, so peaceful and so in control and powerful. I was really moved by it. So I used a lot of her words and phrases in this poem, including this one, which is called Song Inside. Each person has a song inside, a hum. I learned a Buddhist mantra I could chant. Melodic mantra, my Buddhist chant, a hidden way for me to build a life. Small steps, a hidden way to build a life. I started over, my name the thing I owned. I started over, empty pockets and my name, a river between me and that other place. Over my shoulders, I see rivers in place of where my rage should be. The chant fills in where rage should be. Words gain strength the more you say them. Words grow strange the more you say them. Each person has a song inside, a hum. I was thinking also, you know, if you sing a song enough times or you say a word enough times, like it loses its meaning. It unwords or it unmeans into something else. And that made me think of her chanting as well, the different ways that words can unform. So I guess it kind of makes sense the way I was thinking to be using these repeating lines and repeating words as I did in this poem with which I'll close. It's called Tina Sestina. So anyway. Many of you will listen and some of you will hear, and some want replays of the beatdown blues. Once I learned to chant, the path was clear. I took things apart and tried to find the truth. All songs come from there, no matter the words, no matter who sings them, no matter what life. I was a pony-legged girl when I started this life. Tennessee's behind me now, but in my blood I hear cotton fields, the hogs we ate, their butchered words, something we learned to live with. When dust devils blew through town, I followed, believing them to be as true as fire, rooted to a spot where heat runs clear. I was spiritual, but I couldn't see clearly until a psychic led me to my life. It turns out fame would be my truth, and Ike was just one in a herd. I let it go and came out on the other side of blue bruises, no longer choking on his words. I found a room inside myself, outside of words, and settled in that space. My mind cleared as I lived through the finding my way blues, but I prefer the scenic route in life to marching in place. I heard Mama say crying never does any good, and it's true. Love and hate are two faces on a coin, and truth needs not the ornament of many words. These old proverbs nobody wants to hear take a while to settle for their meaning to be clear. There have been times in this rowdy life when I have been that seeker, mucking blue mountain springs with my footsteps as I blew through hard times in a hurry for the truth. Now that work is over, I've chosen a quiet life. I'm careful with words so my message is clear. It has taken a lifetime to arrive right here. Quit digging for untrue blues behind my words. How can I make it clear? Life offers itself in whispers, but you got to listen. Here? And that's it.
Give all of our writers, our poets. It is very difficult to write on demand or a topic sometimes, but I try to pick multiple generations and styles so that we could really be in conversation with each other about Tina Turner. So thank you all. Thank you, Megan, wherever you are. I don't have, oh, you're right there. My glasses, I left them at the house. But thank you so much for doing this. If you didn't know, every year there is a tribute poetry reading. So there has been an Aretha Franklin one. There was a reading not dedicated to gentrification, but about gentrification. And I think Icon was a part of that. And there was, I'm trying to think, there was another one. I can't remember. So I think I think there have been a couple. So whenever someone passes away or there's some issue in the world, you can always look for this poetry reading in the festival to try to address that. I think was there a Prince one, maybe?
Not yet.
Remember. So maybe that would be a Prince one. So I have a few more announcements that I missed. Is Michelle here now?
Yes.
Okay. So Michelle, can you do your quick spiel about your reading series? And there's an anthology coming out, I think.
There is an anthology. Kelly is in the anthology. Yeah, Kelly's in the anthology.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. So, Nikki Oble and I founded and run Liminal Lit LMNL. It's Liminal Without the Vowels. We have readings with poets and creative nonfiction writers and prose writers. We have a reading of the Domino every month. We have a reading of the Hives every month. We have workshops every month. 1 or 2 workshops. We have a festival next month at the Domino. It starts with
what's your website?
People will contact us. So like if you have a book coming out, if you have a thing happening, or like if you have a vision for like a program that's going to bring together writers, right? Or we do the Place and Thing. Where Sana and Sean were both involved with the Place and Thing last week. We did the Place and Thing with Words and Music on Thursday, yesterday. So the website, just follow us on Insta. It's LMNL, Liminal Lit. And everything we have is posted there. Or if you just want to catch me, like before you leave, I can get your email. We send out one newsletter a month, and it has all of our projections for the entire month, just sort of included in that one newsletter. And so we just love to have you there, or to host a thing for you. And thank you so much, Kelly. Yeah.
So yeah,
Sunday at Domino. Sign up at 8. The slam starts at 8:30. Yeah.
is there a winning prize for the slam? You know, it's holiday time.
It is not, no, it is so low key. It is so
Okay.
low stakes. It is just really
Okay.
it's a place for people to get together.
I had to ask, you know, it's holiday time. You know, the poets need some cash, you know.
I mean, we do have an honorarium for our readers and for our workshop leaders. But the slam is something that we co-host with Crescent City Slam. And so it's just like you get a little medal and we just get together. It's really just a community thing. So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Cal.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So let me say that explore the city. Go check out all kinds of poetry readings and writing events. Iron sharpens iron. You know, sometimes you should get on the mic. Sometimes you should just listen. When I first got to New Orleans, my mentors told me who was here, Kalamu and Dr. Ward. And so my instruction was, don't get on any mic until you meet the elders, the elder writers of the city. So I didn't do anything for a while until I kind of tried to get their blessing and just talk to them and get to know like the layout of the city. So as we do all these things, let's not forget the elders of the community that have like worked hard and did so much of the groundwork for the things that we can enjoy now in New Orleans. To that point, I forgot to mention Renegade Press, which was founded by Baba Kalamu Yasalam and Kysha Brown Robinson in the back. They have published Jarvis's book with UNO, I Feel to Believe, Sonny's book, We Know This Place, Sonny Patterson's book, We Know This Place, who just performed next door. Marion's book right here. Yes. And I'm missing somebody. Am I missing somebody, Kysha?
You said I am New Orleans. A number of Columbus books. My book. I'm sure there's someone we're missing, but.
And his own books, Kalamu's own books. We should read those. If you haven't read Be About Beauty by Kalamu, it's really, really, really a great book. And it also really gives you some of the backdrop of the Black arts movement and some of the tensions there. So sit with that a little bit because it really is
The Tom Dent Reader.
the Tom Dent Reader. How could we forget him? So let me go through the names that we heard tonight that are just local.
And the 100 New Orleans poets.
100 New
Those are
Orleans
old ones,
poets.
that's a good one.
And how could I forget Dr. Mona Lisa Saloy? That book too, I think UNO did. Maybe not Renegades, but certainly the former poet laureate of the state. We should say her name as well. So we have heard the name of Adela. We've heard the name of Tom Dent. We've heard the name of John Scott. We've heard Dr. Ward, Tina Turner, obviously. So we are in good company with ancestors and elders tonight. So I thank you for letting me host for this evening. Are there anything else, Megan?
I'll do a couple things, but not till you're done.
Okay. We should also thank Whiskey and Sticks. I don't know if you're from Whiskey and Sticks, Kelda. Thank you. Thank you, Kelda. Somebody tell Kelda I said thank you. We said thank you. We appreciate all that they've done. Give Megan a round of applause. She's been like running. I should also shout out her for the work she's doing with the sheriff's office, getting a book club in the prison, in the jail. Like, I had the privilege to go, and it was so life-changing for me. I could not believe how well they knew my book. They were like, on page 47, you said this. I was like, what? You're hired. But they knew my book so well. And I think that it was just so transformative for me. So thank you for giving me that experience. I think Cheryl is here. Yep. Cheryl was talking about going in and showing the pictures, and that there was an inmate from, I'm going to tell this story. There was an inmate from Memphis, and you were asking pictures of the second line. He was like, what's the second line? And the inmates was like, oh, we will show you. And so that was the second line in the prison. So the work that we do, it matters. So writers, I just want to say that it matters to someone. It matters that you're doing this work, whether you're publishing, whether you're out all the time. Your words, your work, it matters. So thank you again, Megan. The gravel is all yours.
The gravel. Okay. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Kelly already did one thing I was gonna do, and that's thank Whiskey and Sticks for hosting us. So Ken Jones and Kelder Summers Jones, if you're around, thank y'all so much.
Yes.
Kelly, remember in 2018 when we did poetry tribute to Aretha Franklin here and like 4 people showed up? And tonight there's about 40 of you guys. So thank you all for believing in the festival, sticking with us. Kelly, that is so largely due to you and the fact that for years you've been giving us honest feedback, you've been curating, you've been helping promote. So y'all, if Words of Music is anything, it's because Kelly Harris-DeBerry has done so much work. And one thing, follow One Book, One New Orleans. The year-round work to get books where they're needed most. It happens through One Book, One New Orleans. It's the nonprofit that hosts the festival. We're doing things around the city all year long, including November 29th is our next event because we didn't do enough this month. So look for that. And last but not least, and Kelly's already done this a little bit, I want to just thank on camera, and I'll send it to him, Dr. Jerry Ward, who really sat me down when I took over directorship of this festival and told me what I should do and believed in me enough to keep telling me what I should do when I was in danger of losing my way. Every time I have a decision to make about this festival, what I think is, would Dr. Ward be proud? And if the answer is yes, then I do it. If the answer is maybe, then I rethink. So Dr. Ward, thank you so much. We feel your presence here today and always. Tomorrow, if you missed any of Kelly's poetry, you want to hear more of it, at 12:15, over there at the Andre Caillou Center for Performing Arts and Cultural Justice, Po Boys and Poets. Right before Kelly will be DJ Soul Sister being interviewed about her work as an archivist. And if you want to hear more of Alison, at 6 o'clock at Community Book Center, we'll have her closing out this 4 days with us. So come out tomorrow, enjoy a beautiful Saturday of literature and readings and workshops. And we'll see you soon. A few hours.